Hey guys, Courtney Fricky here. So, as you guys know, I've been asking people the same question here at this conference. It's this idea around rentals. Is the goal to pay them off? Do you keep debt on them long term? So, first of all, Eric, where are you based out of?
So my name is Eric Vogel. I'm a real estate investor in the south side of Atlanta. My wife and I started investing about 8 years ago
Okay.
into single family homes.
All right, so you got an idea of that. All right, so and you're welcome to take this. You're welcome
Yeah.
to take share your opinion on, you know, is your goal, do you currently use leverage? Is your goal to pay them off? What does that look like for you for your rentals?
Yeah, I would say your stance on this and my stance on this comes from a point of safety and security for a legacy component. So right now, we are about 60% leveraged on our whole portfolio. Now, 60% is not what banks would say is the right amount, I guess. Like 70, 75%, 80% at times
Like the
is
higher
what,
leverage is safer?
yeah, right. But we want to sort of hedge against potential economic downturns. So at 60% leverage, we have the option and affordability to reduce rents. We have the option and affordability to sell off given any said economic crisis.
Gives enough buffer from the value.
That's right,
Yeah.
absolutely. So right now our strategy is to stay leveraged. Now, safety and security in mind, when we get older, we may want to have even more of a buffer. We may want to be only 20 to 30% leveraged. So, and I think this answer really comes from what do you need out of your portfolio? Do you need cash flow? Do you need safety? Do you need security?
Yep.
Are you looking at the legacy component? Are you looking to pass down your portfolio and your
debt.
your wealth and your debt to your heirs?
Yep.
I'm young. I've got two young kids right now, and my wife and I are still trying to figure out what is the legacy we're leaving. Is it monetary? Is it physical assets? Is it education only? What are we trying to leave behind? So
Yeah.
we're still figuring that out right now. I love using debt as a tool because it allows us to scale.
Well, it allowed you to grow to this point.
That's right.
I got a question for you. So, you guys are predominantly doing pad split, right?
Not predominantly, no.
But is it
we do
is it
have
long
some.
term? But you have
Yep.
some, and those are a higher cash flow. Do you also have some short? Remind me, some short term
Yes.
rentals and stuff.
Yeah,
like
we have the bigger part of our portfolio are long-term rentals.
Okay.
And we have a handful of rent by the room properties. Some of them are with pad split, some of them are self-managed.
Okay, and then do you have any short term rentals too?
I just bought one that I'm still remodeling.
So my question for you on that one is, okay, when a property throws off more cash flow than a long term rental, are you siphoning that toward the debt, or you know what I mean? Like some
Yeah,
people,
that's a great question.
Some people have that, and so that's more so what I'm getting at here is, are you taking additional, especially the heightened cash flow from a different strategy,
Yeah.
and doing anything with the debt with it?
I think it's important to understand your portfolio and the numbers within your portfolio by running analysis. We run several different analyses on our portfolio. One of them is loan constants, figuring out which ones are the ones we need to pay off now and re-leverage at a different rate, or re-leverage at a higher equity position or lower equity position.
Yep.
And then there's return on equity. People don't often talk about return on equity, and the option there is that you have a lot of money sitting there
Debt equity.
dead, and it's not moving and it's not making money. And so the reason we bought some short-term rentals was we had 3 properties that were slapped full of equity that were only earning $600-700 a month each cash flow. But that equity, I could pull it out and go exchange it via 1031 exchange into a property where I can leverage it higher and get that equity to actually perform better.
And then, because equity, you can't eat equity.
No, you can't.
Cash flow can put food on the table, can pay some bills, things like that. And so, so just a few more questions here before we wrap up, though.
Yeah.
It's, I think one, he mentioned things like loan constants and a return on your equity. People don't talk about those a lot. I know our mentors do.
Yes.
But especially like the loan constant thing, I heard about that for years before it started to actually click. And it's not all debt is created equal. And if you do have some plan to maybe kill off some debt through either paying it down or refinancing it, it should be done with strategy, not just,
Yep.
you know, flippantly. And a loan constant is a more in-depth topic that if you don't know about it, you should look into it. One of the other videos is with Pete Fortunato, and he referenced it as well. So,
Yep.
but then you talked about a return on equity. You know, I had a conversation with a gentleman here who's been investing for 40 plus years, and he was talking about a free and clear property. What's your return on a free and clear property? It's generally around 4, 5, 6%, which is really low.
Yep.
Considering, but it's because it's all that cash is just sitting.
But it really depends on their motivations.
Yep.
If they need more safety and security and a hedge against what might happen in this country or in this
Sure.
world, that might provide them that safety and security to have a paid off house. So I think it's really, it all depends on the person.
It does, for sure. And that person, you know, this morning at breakfast, I was talking with them, and then Gary put on the class this weekend, and Gary said the money always makes less in-house than it does outside. So you could go get a higher return outside by investing, you know, in different, you know, maybe more aggressive deals. But in-house, it's going to make less if, for example, you have free and clear.
Yep.
But yet there's other factors there.
That's
you know,
right.
There's
I think-
more control over the deal, things like that.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to note what is right for me, what is right for Courtney, what is
Yeah.
right for anyone else that you have interviewed may not be right for you. And you have to get in tune with who you are and what you want out of your investments to get the answer that is right for you.
I just realized your shirt. His shirt says Dave Ramsey doesn't know how to buy on, oh my gosh, doesn't know how to buy on terms. I'm dying here.
There we go.
So I just realized that before we head out. Any other thoughts, and then I'll have you share about your podcast.
No other thoughts other than get intentional about what you want to do with your life, and that will help plant the seed of the answer of is debt right for you.
Yeah, I love it. So tell folks, I've had the privilege of being on your show.
Yes.
Tell people about your podcast.
Yeah, my wife and I found a lot of success in investing in real estate, and we wanted to share our journey, not in any way to monetize and make more money. We do that very well enough in our portfolio. But I wanted to share the stories and the insights that my mentors have taught me and what life experiences have taught me. So my wife and I have a podcast. It's called The On Purpose Investor. We also wrote a book called The Pathfinder's Journey, which is a great little story about a young couple that find financial freedom and clarity on their life by getting interrupted by a real estate neighbor.
Oh, real estate neighbor. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, as always, appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Ma'am.
No, you're good.
Sorry
you're good.
about that.
No, you're good. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, make sure to let us know your thoughts, because we're getting a lot of different opinions here on the same question, but it's actually very powerful because at you know, even at 8 years into the business,
Yeah.
it's powerful to see. You got to think ahead. Where do you want to end up?
That's
What
right.
does that debt look like? All of those things, it needs to be on purpose.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
leave you with this thought. Yogi Berra, one of the greatest of all time. If you don't know where you're headed, you'll end up someplace else.
Great to end on. Thanks, guys.